Hi everyone, Allison here from the Well Cultivated Life, and today I'm sitting in my living room in a nice sunny window because I don't know about you, but this time of year I can get kind of into the winter doldrums. I know I'm not alone in this. This happens to a lot of people during the darkest time of year. Where I live in New Hampshire, it seems like the winters go on forever, and it's really easy to fall into these feelings of sadness or hopelessness, or even on the other side, frustration and anxiety because we feel like nothing is ever going to change. We get stuck into this darkness from outside and a darkness on the inside as well. And so although we can do things like put on a nice cozy sweater and some other self-care routines like I'm doing today, sitting in a sunny window, often we just need a little bit extra help from our herbal friends, our herbal allies, as I like to call them. So today I'm going to be sharing 5 different herbs that you can take during the winter time just to help lift your mood and spirits and get you through until springtime. Now, herbs are powerful and can help with so many different aspects of our health, but when we're talking about our emotional and mental health, there's 2 categories that I usually go to. The first one are the nervines, and that just means a type of herb that helps your nervous system regulate or balance or adjust so that it comes back to homeostasis is the technical word. And then the other type of herb that we can use to help us balance and regulate are adaptogens. And this is a definition that a lot of people argue over, but really it just means a type of herb that works more on a whole body system to help our bodies adapt and again come back to a balance point so that we feel better overall. When everything's working together, then our whole body feels better and we feel better as well. So let me share 5 of my favorite mood boosting herbs that can help you feel more radiant and more resilient and get you all the way to springtime. So let's get started with our first herb, which is St. John's wort. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with St. John's wort. It is commonly known as a herb that can be used to help with mild depression. And if you've ever seen St. John's wort growing out in the wild, you would agree that it looks like a bright yellow sun. It blooms right around the summer solstice, which means it is absorbing all the energy of that full sun into its chemistry. And that's part of the reason why it works so well for helping to boost our mood. Now, St. John's wort can be made into a tea. You can make a tincture or take a tincture of that. But one of the ways I like to use St. John's wort is actually as an infused oil and then made into a salve or lotion. I like to put it like on my feet and maybe on my hands or places that get kind of stiff and sore during the cold winter months. And let's face it, our skin is definitely drying out in the winter, so a little bit of extra moisture on the skin never hurts. For most people, St. John's wort is fine, and even a cup or 2 of St. John's wort can be used, but it does have a lot of drug interactions with different types of prescription medications. And so if you're thinking of putting St. John's wort into your regular routine, you definitely want to check with your doctor or other healthcare provider and make sure that anything that you're taking is not going to interact with St. John's wort. Our next herb is chamomile, one that I'm sure you are all quite familiar with as well. Now, chamomile is lovely because it's a very gentle herb. Gentle, but also powerful. It is great at just calming down those frazzled nerves, which makes it an awesome ally for during the winter months, especially if you're one of these types that gets kind of anxious and stressed about wanting winter to end. Chamomile is most often taken as a tea, but a lot of people don't brew the tea long enough to get the full benefits. So if you're going to be drinking some chamomile tea, make sure you let it brew for half an hour, to steep for even up to an hour, to allow all of the nourishing benefits to come into the tea. Now, if you're not the tea drinking type, another option for chamomile is to use the chamomile essential oil. And most people use the German chamomile. This essential oil is a wonderful aromatherapy experience. I use it semi-regularly, and you simply take a sniff of the essential oil, or you can mix it with a carrier oil and rub it on your wrists. And I find that it has an incredible calming, an immediate calming effect, because aromatherapy, things that we smell, they go straight into our nervous system, and they work rapidly. So they are another great option. Now, you want to make sure that you're buying a high quality essential oil. Because they're so popular and because you can command a decent amount of money for them, there's a lot of fakes and knockoffs. Make sure you're buying from a reputable retailer or a online company that actually makes the essential oils themselves. Our next herb is lemon balm. This plant is in the mint family, and so it's very aromatic. It grows easily in most areas and can be harvested pretty much throughout the season. If you're not growing lemon balm, you might want to think about planting some this spring. Now, lemon balm, as the name says, is lemony in flavor and scent, and it's also a balm, B-A-L-M, which means it is soothing. Some cultures just call it simply balm. It has a lot of nervous system, nervine soothing properties, as well as even some antiviral properties as well. Something else we can always use during the winter. Lemon balm is most lemony when it's fresh, but we can also dry it and make it into a tea. It can be extracted in vinegar. I like to make a glycerin extract. Glycerin is a type of alcohol sugar. It tastes sweet, and that means the lemon and the sweet together are really, really good, and you can use that just as a drop on your tongue or even into a beverage or in your cooking. But one of my favorite ways to save the benefits of lemon balm from the summer is to create a lemon balm pesto, throwing lemon balm in with either basil or dandelion leaves or whatever other greens you have available. Put it in your freezer and keep that to eat all winter long. Our fourth herb on the list of blues busters is somewhat of a nervine, but it's also considered more of an adaptogen, and that is Tulsi, otherwise known as holy basil, sometimes called sacred basil as well. Now, this plant is highly revered in India, where it is grown in most dooryards for protection. And that's kind of how it works in our home, that is our body as well. It's an adaptogen and is really able to support our body's response to any kind of stress. Holy basil is a type of herb that has culinary uses as well as the medicinal uses, where it can be drunk as a tea. It can be made into a tincture as well. This year I decided to try tincturing a lot of things in red wine, and so I've got a Tulsi wine, Tulsi extracted in wine. Add a little bit of honey to that and have a few sips of that in the evening. It's so delicious. And today I'm actually drinking some Tulsi tea. Tulsi is a type of basil, which means it's in the mint family, and it's very aromatic, like all members of that, or most of the members of that family. There are several different types of Tulsi that you can grow. In the northern hemisphere, they're usually grown as an annual, and I grew 2 types last year and found that they definitely had a different flavor between the two, but both are considered to have the same adaptogenic healing properties. This lovely sacred herb has such a beautiful essence to it. I highly recommend it for part of your winter blues busting routine. Last but not least, we have ashwagandha, which is a very powerful adaptogen. Ashwagandha helps the body to adapt and manage stress, which makes it a very important ally during the winter months to help us navigate the ups and downs of the winter blues. Ashwagandha is a relative of the tomato, but we don't eat the fruit for the medicinal purposes. That part is the root. So most often what you'll see is ashwagandha either as the root cut up into pieces or as a powder. And this is very convenient because you can either take it in a capsule or you can mix it in with any types of food that you're eating and just get this into your daily consumption very easily. It's got a relatively neutral taste to it, so it mixes well with soups or anything. Sprinkle it on your rice, whatever you might be making, and that's the way that I usually like to take it. Throw it in a smoothie. Why not? You could even add a spoonful to your morning tea or coffee or whatever you're drinking in the morning, along with maybe a little coconut milk, and get your day started off right with this amazing adaptogen. Ashwagandha has a very grounding, partly because it's a root, stabilizing type of energy, and that can really help us keep from going on these highs and lows of our emotions during a time where we are feeling maybe a little unstable, maybe a little anxiety, maybe a little stressed during these winter months. These 5 herbs that I've shared with you, St. John's wort, chamomile, lemon balm, holy basil or Tulsi, and ashwagandha, are just some of the herbs that you could use to help support yourself during the winter, during times of stress, or frankly, any time of year, in my opinion. Not everybody is going to resonate with every herb, and we all have an affinity for different types of plants. So give each one of them a try, see how they work with your body. Make sure you're checking for any kind of prescription or drug interactions before you start taking something regularly. There are many different ways you can take these different herbs, tea or tincture or food, but getting in the habit of bringing herbal allies into your daily routine will help you to lift your spirits, soothe your soul, and get you through the rest of winter and frankly, the rest of your year. Thank you everyone for joining me for this herbal video. My name is Allison from the Well Cultivated Life. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of the other awesome herbal content coming up in the future. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.